We gotta watch what we're saying.
Ready? And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cochrane Stadium on the campus of Bowling Green State University. We've got MAC quarterfinal play between your Bowling Green State University Falcons, the #1 seed, and the Chippewas of Central Michigan, the 8th seed. Hi, I'm Zach Smith. I'm joined alongside Brandon Lowe here for coverage presented through WBGU's live stream, and we're going to go ahead and get you the starting lineups. First, the Chippewas.
First for the visiting Central Michigan Chippewas, in goal Zoe Reed. Then number 6, Marley Bringard. Number 13, Logan DeBow. Number 14, Maria Kaschalk. Number 17, Riley Mann. Number 19, Cami Taylor. Number 22, Natalie Belcito. Number 23, Amanda Britton. Number 25, Chesney Wargo. Number 28, Ali Vizenko. And number 35, Maddie West.
And for your Bowling Green Falcons, back there in goal is number 33, Kathleen Doovy. Joining her, number 5, Nikita Jacob. Number 7, Chelsea Washington. Number 8, Katy Cox, joined with her sister, number 9, Nikki Cox. Number 12, Sarah Allen. Number 19, Sophia Barnes. Number 20, Mackenzie Ruber. Number 21, Audrey Shea. Number 24, Lena Kovar. And number 25, Mackenzie Ortman. They are coached by Matt Fannin in his 3rd year, assisted by Dan Ball and Aaron Kielmeyer. The Falcons will be in their white uniforms with white pants with that light orange in the center of their uniforms, with Kathleen Doovy back there in all green. For the Chippewas, they will be in their maroon tops with that yellow fading on the bottom with maroon pants, and Reed will also be in green as the Chippewas get the ball to start and drive down the field, going right to left. Nikita Jacob back there on the contest for the Chippewas and Falcons. Nikita Jacob then passes up to Cox. Katy Cox up the side to Chelsea Washington, who sends it back and around. The Falcons really like to keep that defense involved. That's being passed up to Chelsea Washington. Chelsea Washington looking for somebody to pass to Nikita Jacob, and sends that back to her defense. Defense notably without Maureen Kennedy today.
And it'll be interesting to see how that back line sort of adapts. They had to play most of the game at Toledo without Maureen Kennedy, a full game here without her today.
And it's going to be interesting to see what they do as the ball goes out of bounds for a throw-in for the Chippewas. Sent up the sideline and won by the Falcons, but taken right back by the Chippewas. The Chippewas a very aggressive team. Ball out of bounds. It's going to be throw-in for the Falcons. On a gorgeous day here in Bowling Green, except for the temperature. As of 12:32, it's 45 degrees. It feels like 39. Wind going southwest at 11 miles per hour. There is a slight possibility of rain, but I don't think it's going to make it here. It's in South Bend right now and should be heading north. Ruber on the side, sent it back to her defense. Number 21, Audrey Shea back there. Back to Doovy. Both teams trying to feel each other out. Of course, they did play back a couple weeks ago where Bowling Green took the victory in double overtime, winning that one 3-2. Nikita Jacob looking to get past the midfield stripe. The Falcons haven't really gotten past the midfield stripe so far, as we are just underway here at Cochrane Stadium.
Falcons really like to work the ball around, take their time. Again, you mentioned earlier, the back line really gets involved.
And that's the big thing, is getting everybody involved. Chelsea Washington gets it up to Nikki Cox, but little misplaced footing, and the Chippewa defense stands firm. Last time these two teams played, as mentioned, the Falcons won 3-2. Zoe Reed, the goalkeeper for the Chippewas, made some really great grabs, but that defense just kept breaking down from some relentless Falcon attacks. Nikita Jacobs to Ruber. Ruber sends it up, and she tripped a little bit, whistle's blown, and it's going to be a free kick for the Falcons. To take it is going to be number 24, Lena Kovar.
Kovar getting the start today in place of the previously mentioned Maureen Kennedy.
Lena Kovar to take it just above the midfield stripe. A little bit of a block over there in the upper part of the box in front of Zoe Reed. Kovar sends it up, headed by Cox, and just sent out of the box by the Chippewas. Cox tries to keep it alive, but right there is number 28, Ali Viazanko. Ball still in. Cox over there is double teamed. Ball's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to be a throw-in for the Chippewas just in front of the corner. Throw-in by Viazanko. Won by the Chippewas and just sent forward, but the relentlessness of the Falcons' defense is still right there and just kicked up and out of bounds. Throw-in for the Falcons by Ruber. Ruber to Cox, tripped up, but just sent forward. Headed by the Chippewas and sent forward. But that back line continuously staying involved as Kathleen Doovy is way out of the box on the left side. So it's just two players separating Doovy from the Chippewas. Sent up and a little bit of a run for the Chippewas. As more Falcons get back there, Chelsea Washington on that contest. Player in the corner. And Chelsea Washington gets back there. Chelsea Washington, one of the captains of this BG squad, has played really well this year. Good on the defensive side of the ball and on the offensive side. Pass up, one player to beat, and the Chippewas just kick it out of bounds.
It was a really good play there by Chelsea Washington to jump the pass down in the Bowling Green defensive end and work it all the way up across the field with younger sister, Katy Cox.
And Chelsea Washington has been great all year on that defensive end, but she knows how to pass, too, and get it going. Ruber to throw in for the Falcons. Splits the defense to Nikki Cox, pass to Katy Cox. Katy Cox to the middle. Nikki Cox on the contest, but the Chippewas just trying to get the ball out of the box as this defense has already been tested today. Good footwork over there by the Chippewas, getting the pass to number 17, Riley Mann. Riley Mann up the sideline, keeps it in, but header by the Falcons keeps it out of the box. That one's just going to sail out to the left of the goal for a goal kick for the Falcons. To take it, number 33, Kathleen Doovy. Another one of these captains on this Bowling Green squad, the defending back-to-back regular season champions of the Mid-American Conference.
Trying to become back-to-back tournament champions as well here, as all 4 games so far are underway in MAC tournament play.
We'll for sure keep you updated on those scores as it does impact your Falcons with a win today. Nikita Jacobs just looking to get it back across the midfield stripe. And looking for a pass. Chelsea Washington saw Ruber up the side. Ruber has nobody in front of her. Mackenzie Ruber pushing up the side, sends it up to the middle. She had a teammate there. That was number 12, Sarah Allen, but cut off by the Chippewas. And the Falcons looking to keep their foot on the gas. Chelsea Washington pass up to Ruber. Nobody's in front of Ruber. And they're going to rule, I believe, an offside. And it's going to be a kick for Zoe Reed, the goalkeeper of the Chippewas.
That is correct. Offsides there. Just got a little bit too eager on that one.
Offside, such a difficult call, as it's always that last defensive player, and you can't really go past him, so they really set the line. But it's always such an on and off call. Zoe Reed from the top of the box sends it up. Almost cut off by Cox, but won by the Falcons and set up. Number 23, Amanda Britton, just has to get it up the sideline where it will go out of bounds for a throw-in for the Falcons. Quickly thrown in to that back line. Kathleen Doovy, the goalkeeper, has the ball. The Falcons aren't really in too much of a hurry right now, as the first half is a lot about just feeling the other opponent out. But again, the Falcons know this team getting a victory against them to finish 10-1 in the Mid-American Conference this year, with their only loss coming to Ball State, the number 2 seed, who is also playing today against Eastern Michigan.
Ball State and Bowling Green, 3 or 4 good matchups now over the past number of years, and it could be lining up for that again if both teams continue their winning ways.
Ball State's up in Muncie right now. Western Michigan's also playing today against the Ohio University Bobcats, and then Buffalo's taking on Akron in Buffalo. That is all women's soccer going on today in the Mid-American Conference. Again, quarterfinals hosted by the higher seed. Falcons looking to maintain that as the number 1 seed throughout the throughout the playoffs for Max Soccer.
And in the event of a Falcons victory here today, they would host the remainder of the games here at Cochrane Stadium.
Which is notable, as these Falcons are very tough to beat at home. Falcons up top, Sarah Allen looking for a lane. Her defender tripped. Nikki Cox on the contest gets it to number 25, Mackenzie Ortman. Ortman back to Katy Cox. Shot on goal is saved by Zoe Reed. Zoe Reed made a couple great catches last time she played against the Falcons, but as mentioned, that defense broke down and there was only so much she could do on her own. Zoe Reed with a boot, line drive straight to Chelsea Washington and the midfield stripe. Little pushing and shoving. Number 25, Chesney Wargo has the ball right now, sends it back, and won again by the Falcons. This Falcons defense is just really good. And last time the Falcons played as well, the Chippewas were getting, there's no other real word for it other than chippy. They were getting pretty aggressive down on the ball, just trying to get something going. As last time the Falcons played the Chippewas, 4 out of 5 goals were scored within the last 30 seconds of whatever time was left on the clock. Chelsea Washington sends it up and over the head of Sarah Allen, and won by the Chippewas. Cox tried to get it. That ball's just kicked up the sideline. Nikita Jacob trying to catch up. It's 2-on-5 down there on the side. Number 13, Lauren DeBow has the ball. Kicked alongside. Good save there by Kathleen Doovy. It's going to get out of bounds. It's going to be a goal kick. That was a close shot there by the Chippewas, but Doovy, great hands, just keeps it out of the goal.
Nice job there. And it's really important that these Falcons get early momentum.
And it's always good to ride high on momentum. You never want to be down too much, but especially when you can get the first shot in, especially at home, you become very, very tough to beat. Doovy sends it up to that's to Audrey Shea. Tries to just get it up the sideline. Almost goes out of bounds. Nifty footwork there. A lot of grabbing over there by Cox. And Central Michigan's going to get a free kick taken by Zoe Reed. Another interesting little move here, having Zoe Reed take the kick, as there is nobody on the right half of the field right now. Nobody in goal, no defense, no nothing. So if a Falcon player can pick this off somehow, it becomes very interesting. Zoe Reed to take the kick. Straight to Allen. Zoe Reed is sprinting back to the goal. Allen has Nikki Cox up there with her, along with 4 Chippewa defenders. Sarah Allen looking for a lane and just tried to get it between the legs, tried to nutmeg Ali Viazanko, but doesn't get it. Ruber's on the side, keeps it in bounds. Ruber towards that back right corner. A lot of pushing and shoving. That's out of bounds. And they're going to rule it a goal kick last touch there by the Falcons, and Zoe Reed to take the kick. .32 minutes, or just above, remaining here in the first period of play. Zach Smith, I'm joined with Brandon Lowe here at Cochrane Soccer Stadium for quarterfinal soccer. Zoe Reed gets the kick to midfield. Header won by the Falcons, and Nikita Jacob looking to get on the board here. against the Chippewas. Again, with this being playoff soccer, the winner continues on, the loser does not. So both teams playing for their season today.
It adds a different element to your pace and style of play when your back's against the wall.
And it's the same for both teams. As much as it's a benefit for the Falcons to be that 1 seed and to be at home, their season's on the line too. So this is what you play for all year. That ball gets out of bounds off of a Falcon. It is still Chippewa throw-in.
And as you mentioned, these teams have fought all year to be here. Regular season record doesn't matter anymore. It just determines seeding and who you play in the postseason. So now both teams are essentially no wins, no losses right now.
Great play there by the Falcons, kicking that ball off of the Chippewa defender and up and out of bounds. So instead of having a potential shot on goal or maybe even a corner kick, Kathleen Doovy is going to be able to show off her leg a little bit for a goal kick. Just lightly tapped up to Nikita Jacob. That back line is so good. Of course, Maureen Kennedy is a big part of it, not playing today. But so far, the Falcons, that defensive back line is really playing well. Chelsea Washington pushing pace, tries to get it up to number 25, Ortman, but just tipped off of one of the Chippewa shin guards, sent back to Doovy to see what their goalkeeper can do. Doovy sends it up to one of the Falcons. And back to Doovy. No aggressiveness over there by the Chippewas. Nobody's really pressuring Doovy. She's got all day to send that ball forward and really scope out the field. Send up to Sarah Allen. Sarah Allen keeps it in. She's got a player directly on her. That's number 23, Amanda Britton. Sarah Allen with the attempt right there. Saved by the Chippewas. Chelsea Washington tried to get it to Ruber, but right back to Washington it goes. Chelsea Washington has been all over the ball so far in this first half. A lot of pushing and shoving. And they're going to rule a free kick for the Chippewas. A lot of pushing and shoving. And they rule it against Chelsea Washington as she was just wrapped up. To take that kick was Natalie Belcito. Header by Chelsea Washington. And Doovy's just going to pick it up. So nobody really has to worry about it. And again, there's nobody pressuring Doovy down there on the left side of the field. They're just saying, all right, we'll let Kathleen Doovy go ahead and take it as the goalkeeper. Cammie Taylor is the closest Chippewa to Doovy. Tried to inch up, but Doovy was unfazed. Doovy, of course, being a senior, has been in this spot before last year with the Falcons as they won the tournament. Now trying to make that back-to-back. That's Shea with the ball. Sends it to Ruber. Ruber up to Cox. Cox back to Ruber. And Mackenzie Ruber sends it up to Sarah Allen. Sarah Allen up the sideline. And it's going to just get kicked out of bounds by the Chippewas for a throw-in for the Falcons. Ruber to take it.
Really good job by the Falcons at opening holes on their way down the field that time, pressing into their offensive zone.
Ruber gets it down to Cox. Cox back to Ruber, up and over for Allen. Allen has one player in front of her, and they'll just send it up. Ortman's right there. Ortman looking for a pass. Tried to get it to Chelsea Washington right up front, just intercepted there by the Chippewas, trying to push pace. So far on the offensive aggressiveness, it's been all Falcons. The Chippewas have been down on the Falcons side twice to pressure Doovy. Looking for passing. Chesney Wargo on the left side. Wargo looking for a passing lane as well. Sends it up to Cammie Taylor. Won by the Falcons, and Shea wins that battle. Shea to Ortman. Ortman to Cox. Cox up the middle. She's got two other players. She's got Cox and Sarah Allen Looks for Sarah Allen. She had 3 players, 1 to beat, and the 1 to beat just tips the ball out of Cox's legs and gets it out. Up to Marley Bringard. Bringard sends it up. A little bit of a shot there by number 19, Sophia Barnes, as it looked like that caught a little bit of the head of the Chippewa offensive player on that side. I can't really see the number.
Unintentional contact there.
But regardless, the Falcons get the ball back here in the first half. Chelsea Washington pushing up the sideline, or up the middle, excuse me, gets it to Cox. Cox gets it back to Washington. Washington just runs into number 17, Riley Mann, and the ball just kept rolling out of bounds. It's going to be a Chippewa throw-in. To take it looks to be number 22, Natalie Belcito. Belcito gets it, but the header is won by the Falcons. A lot of aggressiveness by both teams right now. It's a very chippy atmosphere. As mentioned, it's a win or go home for both teams. Wargo passes up to the center of the field to number 35, Maddie West. Maddie West to number 23, Amanda Britton, and sent back up to Britton. Britton up and over, but to Chelsea Washington. Chelsea Washington gets it up to Sarah Allen, to Ortman. Kenzie Ortman, number 25, passes to Jacob. Jacob back to Washington. And back to Shea. The Falcons are having all day on the left side of the field. They're playing more of a prevent defense, the Chippewas, on that sideline and on the middle, being quite content to let the Falcons just have the ball on the left but not get anywhere near Zoe Reed. Kathleen Doovy just gets it up to Shea. Shea to Ruber. Ruber to Chelsea Washington. Back to Shea. The only problem with the prevent defense is eventually a hole will be exposed. Jacob to Chelsea Washington. Washington tried to get it to Allen, could not do anything with it, and back down to the Falcons side of the field. Winning it is Shea. Shea gets it back to Doovy. And again, the Falcons defense stands strong. And no pressure on that left side. They're quite content to give the Falcons all the space in the world to work with. Chelsea Washington gets it across. Nikita Jacob back to Chelsea Washington. Chelsea Washington to Ruber. Gets it across the side. Ruber to Ortman. Ortman back to Ruber. Ruber's up the sideline. Ruber across the field in the direction of Cox. That's Katy and Nikki over there. And number 19, Sophia Barnes, gets it back up to Cox. Cox, shot on goal and caught there by Zoe Reed, but a whistle. I believe offsides is the call. For a free kick for the Chippewas.
Substitutions coming here for the Falcons shortly.
And the play is allowed. A little bit of a push there, but Chelsea Washington's got the ball. Gets it to Cox. Cox on the side. Sarah Allen was up calling for it, but Nikki Cox thought better of it. Sent it to Jacobs. Back to Shea. Shea to Barnes, it looks like. No, that's Lena Kovar, excuse me. Back to Cox to Chelsea Washington. Chelsea Washington sends it back to Shea. Shea to Ruber. Ruber on the nice little cut inside. Ruber trying to find somewhere to go, but this Chippewas defense just plugged up that hole in the middle so fast. Up the sideline go the Chippewas. Number 17, Riley Mann pushing the ball. Pass up to DeBow. DeBow looking for some help. Gets it to West. West of the side, won by the Falcons, and they'll just send it back to that back line to reset.
And while the Falcons do reset, we'll update you on one of the other games where Eastern Michigan has just gone ahead 1-0 against Ball State.
Ball State, the number 2 seed, the only loss in MAC conference play that the Falcons have, so that could be a big story. Chelsea Washington sends it up in the direction of Sarah Allen. Sarah Allen's getting contested, looking for help. Nikki Cox is right there. Sarah Allen still has it. Sarah Allen pushing up the left side, and it's just going to get kicked out of bounds right up against the corner. Substitutions are going to come in. It's going to be a throw-in.
And that's going to be Kennedy White and Hannah Dolphus checking in for Sarah Allen and Katy Cox.
Getting some of their offensive starters a minute to breathe. Sarah Allen and Mackenzie Ruber have been running up and down that sideline all day, looking just to get a minute to drink some water. Throw in for the Chippewas, won by the Falcons. Pushing up the side. Shot right at the middle is deflected off of number 16, that's Kaschok. Zoe Reed's just going to easily pick that one up. Looked like it took a little bit of a weird bounce, but Zoe Reed's going to dribble a little bit with her hand and kick a high boot to the midfield stripe, won by Barnes. Player laid out. Looked like incidental contact. Lauren DeBow hit the deck. And it's going to be a free kick for the Chippewas.
Another substitution will come in for Bowling Green shortly.
20 minutes left here in the first half of play, all knotted up at 0 here at Cochrane Soccer Stadium. Sitting here just behind the Doit with the W flag flying as Bowling Green football won yesterday against the Akron Zips. That ball is just going to get kicked out to the side between the corner and the goal. It's going to be a goal kick for the Falcons.
Substitution does come in now. Josmine Dieselhoff checks into the game. She's going to come in for Sophia Barnes.
And with Kennedy not playing, they're going to really have to rotate that defensive back line and get everybody involved just a little bit. Barnes back there played really well. Now Dieselhoff gets the nod to get some playing time. Jacob passes to the side for Shea. Shea back to Jacob. And Jacob to the far side in the direction of another Falcon player. Gets it to Cox. Cox looking for somebody to hit. Gets Ruber on the side. She is all alone on that right side. Sends it back to the middle. Header won by the Chippewas. Chelsea Washington. Gets it to Cox. Cox back to Washington. Washington looking for Kennedy White. Kennedy White's got it. Kennedy White gets back to the top of the box. The shot is wide, and it's going to go out of bounds for a goal kick for the Chippewas. So far, 2 shots on goal by the Falcons, none by the Chippewas, no corners for either side. Both Katy and Nikki Cox have shots in general. Katy's being a shot on goal. Zoe Reed kicks it. Gets it just above the midfield stripe. And a whistle. And free kick for the Chippewas. Don't know what that call was for. But as we take under 18 minutes here, the Chippewas are going to be content to eat up a little bit of clock. Sends up the middle one by Chelsea Washington. Washington to Cox. Cox to Kennedy White. Kennedy White back to Cox. Cox to Chelsea Washington has Ruber right up the sideline, and that's where it goes. Mackenzie Ruber, one player to beat. That's number 25, Chesney Wargo to beat. Ruber, kick right into the face of Wargo, and that's going to be a corner kick for the Falcons.
Dieselhoff will run over to take the corner this time. Of course, Normally it would be Maureen Kennedy taking those corner kicks, but with her out, Dieselhoff will get the nod.
Falcons, a little bit of a blob towards that far side. Waiting for the kick. No player near Dieselhoff, so it's going to be a shot on goal. Dieselhoff kicks it just in front of the goal, not the best of kicks. And it's going to be won by the Chippewas as the Chippewas survive the first corner kick of the day. 24 up to Chelsea Washington. Dieselhoff is right there. That ball's going to get out of bounds, and it's going to be a goal kick for Zoe Reed.
Good opportunity there, and it all started with the Falcons keeping in a corner kick that maybe not the greatest kick like you said, but they were able to keep it in, and they were able to try to get something else going on a second attempt.
That aggressiveness is all it really takes sometimes. Zoe Reed gets the kick. It's a line drive straight to the midfield stripe, won there by the Chippewas, number 13, Lauren DeBow, pushing up the side with Nikita Jacob and Dieselhoff directly on her. It's a double team on that far side. Back to DeBow. DeBow looking for a little bit of help as she is being double teamed on that side, and it's just going to be kicked up and out for a goal kick for Kathleen Doovy as she applauds her defense and Nikita Jacob right there. Kathleen Doovy just going to set the ball up right in front of the goal.
She's going to send it out, finding Lena Kovar. Kovar's going to come across to Audrey Shea now. Near side. Looks for Chelsea Washington in the middle as she'll take it across midfield. Looking for Nikki Cox. Trying to move inside. Battle for the ball. Nikita Jacob will win it. Looks back forward. Dolphus. Back to Jacob. Bowling Green moves the ball around now, pressing closer towards their end. And it's going to be sent out by Central Michigan. They'll have to reset. Bowling Green will reset.
Ball went into a bush. The Shags going to have a great time getting that one out. Tried to go up and over. Central now trying to mount a run. Defense, heavy pressure by Audrey Shea. Ruber now will give it right back to Ortman. Ortman to Ruber. Pass forward to Kennedy White. Out of bounds off of Wargo. And great pressure there by Kennedy White, just not letting her team get too far out. It's going to be a throw-in, and Ruber's going to go ahead and check out in favor of it looks to be number
11. That's Kirsten Tveit.
And Kay Torrell's going to trot in for the for the Chippewas. Tveit with the throw-in to Cox. Cox header right back to number 11, Kristen Tveit. Back to Cox. Cox back to Tveit, but that pass is intercepted by Chesney Wargo. Chesney Wargo sends it up to the midfield stripe, but won by Ortman. Ortman back to Tveit. Tveit to Cox. Had to slide just to get that ball back into control, and it just gets back to the Chippewas. And it's going to be a free kick for the Chippewas. Number 22, Natalie Belcito, to take that. Natalie Belcito waiting for the go-ahead. Also seeing where her team lines up. Belcito's kick. Won by the Falcons. And number 25, Chesney Wargo, is going to get that. Wargo back to that center stripe to West. Kennedy White on the contest right there. Picks off the pass, but a little too much on it. A little bit of tackling over there. No whistle blown.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Ortman is just going to send it up the sideline where it's going to finally go out of bounds. It's going to be a throw-in for the Chippewas. A lot of pushing and shoving right there. It looked like the ball was trapped. The Falcons' Kennedy White was just trying to get that ball out of there, and then bodies hit the deck. Throw in. And it's won by number 3, Samantha K. Torrell. Back to that back line. Kathleen Doovy looking for somebody to pass to. Kathleen Doovy waving around. Gets it to the far sideline for Shea. Shea up the sideline. Looking for somebody to pass to. Gets it to Ortman. Ortman looking just to get around that Chippewa defender. Riley Mann was there. Nikita Jacob lost the header. And the Chippewas looking to push pace. Number 13, Lauren DeBow, pushing. Chelsea Washington got the ball, though. Chelsea Washington sends it to the side in the direction of number 11, Kristen Tveit. Tveit back to Washington. Washington running the offense here. Right up the center to Kennedy White. Ends back up with Chelsea Washington. Chelsea Washington's getting all the time in the world to set up. Chelsea Washington up towards the center. White was right there, just overran slightly. Chelsea Washington's going to get another shot.
Good run there by Kennedy White.
Tveit on the side, gets it past number 25, Chesney Wargo to her side. Tveit to the side, gets it off of what looks to be the arm of White, of White. Number 13, Lauren DeBow wanted a whistle or something, but it was a clean slip. Zoe Reed has to go and make almost like a kick returner's catch just to make sure that the Falcons' aggressiveness didn't get to that goal. Great push there by the Falcons. Zoe Reed with the line drive past the midfield stripe straight to Nikita Jacob. It's going to go out of bounds for a Falcon throw-in and substitutions to come in.
For the Falcons, it'll be number 23, Lindsay Spots. And then in for Central Michigan will be number 9, and that's Sheila Magnon.
Falcons to throw in. Nikki Cox, of course, getting a little bit of rest. She's been really aggressive on the offensive side of the ball all season long, getting her a rest. Pass to the near side. That's to Shea. Shea keeping it in bounds. Sends it up. Gets to Tveit. Tveit sends it up in the direction of Ortman. That's number 28. That's Hannah Dolphus.
Bringard was just able to get a foot in there that time.
There's a shot almost won there. Doovy with a great save. That first time just getting it off of her hands, keeping the ball in play. And then on that one, it was a one-on-one, and she slid to keep that ball in front of her and ended up winning it. Great job there by Doovy.
A misplay there by Lena Kovar put Kathleen Doovy in a really precarious situation, and she was able to make a great save out at the top of the box. Now sub in for Central Michigan. That's Ava Brazzani.
Ruby Linton's also going to get in here for Mackenzie Ortman. As more of these starters look to just get a little bit of a break, it's going to be a throw-in for the Falcons. And the Falcons look just to get through with just about 8 minutes left here in the first. Ball sent up to Kennedy White. Ball looks to be off of Kennedy White's shin guard. They're going to rule it a throw-in for BG. Deiselhoff to throw in to number 10, Ruby Linton. Back to Deiselhoff. Kennedy White to Linton. Chelsea Washington up to number 28, Hannah Dolphus. Back to Washington to Jacob. To Linton. To Deiselhoff. Back to Chelsea Washington. Ruby Linton. And the ball's won by the Chippewas. And that ball sent out over the gate, over towards another net on the far side.
It's headed for the football stadium.
That's wrong kind of football, I'm afraid. Throw in for the Chippewas. Up the sideline, straight to a Falcon player, and that's kicked out of bounds. It's going to be another throw in as we hit 6:55 left in the first half. Throw in, won by the Falcons. But all that aggressiveness is still there. Sheila Magnon has the ball, gets it back to Nikita Jacob of the Falcons. Ruby Linton looking for a little bit of help. Gets it to the side for Dieselhoff. Dieselhoff utilizing that back line, which the Falcons do so well. Gets it to Kathleen Doovy. Kathleen Doovy sends it back to Dieselhoff as the Falcons look to strike first. Dieselhoff to Linton. Linton looking for help. A lot of tripping, but Linton gets up. Over to the side towards number 3, Samantha K. Torrell.
Good pressure and takeaway there by Kirsten Tveit.
Number 28 pushing at the side. That's Hannah Dolphus. Back to Tveit. Tveit, little stutter step on number 3, K. Torrell. Tveit. A lot of hand grabbing. Lauren DeBow. Kennedy White gets it to number 10, Ruby Linton. Ruby Linton looking for somebody to pass to. Just a little drop off, which is going to get sent back to that back line, which is pushing more towards that center circle. Right there, Tveit looking to get a little bit of footing and just trips up. Kay Torrell towards the center. One there by Dolphus. Dolphus gets it to Chelsea Washington. Chelsea Washington looks to push the pace. Chelsea Washington up the middle. And it's going to be saved there by Zoe Reed. And Chelsea Washington's limping a little bit. Tries just to trot it off. Falcon sure hope she is okay. Zoe Reed towards the center. Nikita Jacob right there for the Falcons. Back to that back line. Back to Jacob. Nikita Jacob just pushing a little bit, hands up, asking where her help is. A little bit of a back shoulder there for Linton. Dieselhoff pushing the pace. Dieselhoff shot. Oh, just over the hands of Zoe Reed, but a little too wide. It looked good from up here in the press box, but too much.
That was close. Great break there on the far side as we go under 5 minutes to play now. 4:15.
Zoe Reed back there to kick from the top left part of the goalkeeper's box. Just trying to ride it out right now. Sends it up to the center, where one player is surrounded by 3 Falcon players. Tipped right there, Linton. A lot of bodies colliding. Sheila Magnon and Ruby Linton going to the deck. But right there, number 13 for the Chippewas has it. Looks to pass, but it is picked by number 24, Lena Kovar. Lena Kovar to Chelsea Washington. Chelsea Washington pushing up the center. Chelsea Washington looking for some help. Chelsea Washington. A little bit of a lead pass to number 28, Dolphus. And that's another one. That's number 23 for the Chippewas. And Amanda Britton running into Dolphus, and they're going to award a free kick to the Falcons.
That was really close there to being inside the box, probably about another 6 inches.
And that would mean a penalty shot on the goal. But to take it is going to be number 24, Lena Kovar, in the top corner of the box. A little bit of a brick wall maneuver. Right, a couple feet in front of Kovar. Kovar's going to take the shot, hit right into the wall, needed more air underneath it, and it's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be a throw in for the Falcons. Dieselhoff to take it. Dieselhoff looking for somebody. Throws into Dolphus, and it's going to get kicked out of bounds yet again for another throw-in. But this time it's going to be for Central. Throw in from the Chippewas, header by the Falcons, and won by that Falcons back line, which does not get enough credit. Dieselhoff up the sideline, has great speed. Dieselhoff to Linton. Ruby Linton gets it to Chelsea Washington, but the ball between is taken by Bringard. Falcons looking to play some defense right there. Kennedy White plays that defense perfectly, winning that ball.
Great run down there by Kennedy White.
Minute 40 in the first half of play here. On the other side of the half, Brandon Lowe will take over play-by-play duties. 21, Audrey Shea pushing up. Gets it to Chelsea Washington. Chelsea Washington to Nikita Jacob. Nikita Jacob to the far side. Keep in mind the last time that the Falcons and Chippewas played, 4 out of the 5 total goals scored came within the last 30 seconds of time on the clock. Back there is Audrey Shea. Audrey Shea passes the midfield stripe looking for somebody to get the ball to. And it's won by Brunzetti. Gets back there. Falcons look to play defense on the offensive side of the field. Ball's going to kick up and out for a throw-in. It's going to be Falcon throw-in. To take it is number 11, Kristen Tveit. Tveit gets it to Chelsea Washington up to the left side as we hit 35 seconds left.
Last 30 seconds, Falcons here try to push the ball forward and get one last opportunity.
Tripped up there by number 9, Sheila Magnon. Falcons looking. Jacob has it. Ruby Linton gets it to Chelsea Washington. Chelsea Washington up in the direction of Kennedy White. Kennedy White tries to get there and is going to get kicked out of bounds for a throw-in as we hit 10 seconds remaining. Tveit quickly looking to throw in, and Chippewas just content to play keep away, and we're going to go into the half, all tied up at 0 here at Cochrane Soccer Stadium. Final stats really quick. 1 corner kick on the first half is from the Falcons, 2 total shots, 1 being on goal. That was by Nikki Cox. And then there was 1 shot on goal by DeBow for the Chippewas. And Brandon, what did we really see in that first period there?
It was a lot of back and forth, and I think, in my opinion, for having watched this team for a large majority of the season, most of their games, this Falcons team, you can definitely tell misses Maureen Kennedy. So, I mean, we have a 0-0 game at halftime, still very manageable. Obviously, no one has the upper hand right now, but it'll be interesting to see how both teams come out in the second half.
Yeah, that offensive aggressiveness was there for the Falcons, but definitely missing Maureen Kennedy, who is a spark plug of sorts for this Falcons team, both on the offensive and the defensive end. And on the other side, Zoe Reed and that defense for the Chippewas was not going to let the Falcons have that time that they did the first time that they played. We're going to go ahead and take a little bit of a break here. When we come back, Brandon Lowe will take over play-by-play. We'll get you some updates on scores from around the Mid-American Conference as quarterfinal soccer is going live for women's soccer. It is all tied up at 0 here at Cochrane Soccer Stadium. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
All right, and we are back here at Cochrane Stadium here for second half action between the Central Michigan Chippewas, the 8th seed, versus the number 1 seeded Bowling Green State University Falcons. As the girls get underway here, we'll take you through our list of games so far. At half, this game was tied 0-0. Ohio and Western Michigan, the 3 taking on the 6, was tied at 0-0. Akron and Buffalo, the 4 and 5 seeds, were tied 0-0. And then leading right now, getting ready to kick off the second half, Eastern Michigan, the 7th seed, is beating Ball State right now. So pretty impressive developing story there.
And that could be big. Ball State being the 2 seed, hypothetically, you never know because you never can. If Eastern Michigan beats Ball State, that could be big as in terms of overall standings throughout the MAC, with Eastern Michigan having the only goal scored throughout all MAC conference play.
And, of course, many conferences around the country, their playoffs, their postseason tournaments are taking play right now. So, right now, here we go. Nikita Jacob. She's just going to give it to the back line, Lena Kovar. Kovar works it back to Audrey Shea. Freshman's provided the most minutes on the team this season. Very big add for the Falcons this season. Nikki Cox looked forward to Kennedy White. Ball wrapped up there. Central tries to take it away, and they will kick it out of bounds. So Bowling Green's going to get a throw-in.
And that offensive aggressiveness, we saw it a lot in that first half of play, and now we're seeing it a lot now. Chelsea Washington, being the main conductor of all that offense, didn't sit at all during that first half, played all 45 minutes. Back out there right now and just trying to push this team to a victory here.
Mackenzie Ruber looks to throw in. She's going to go forward looking for Nikki Cox. Cox tries to move it around, does, but Central will send it forward. Defense applied by Audrey Shea. Good takeaway there. Kennedy White going to look to move it back to the middle, finds Ruber, tries to get it outside, but it's going to be sent out by Central. Another Mackenzie Ruber throw-in to follow. She's going to throw it in right to Nikita Jacob. Jacob's going to move it down near side all the way down to Deiselhoff. Deiselhoff tries to make a move with the ball, gets it to Chelsea Washington in the middle. Washington looks to go all the way up top to Mackenzie Ruber, who's going to be called for offsides. Goal kick coming here for Central.
Just a little too far up there on the side. Again, offsides, it's such a difficult play to call, especially because it's whoever the last defensive player is, and especially when you're pushing that far down to the left side close to that goal. Offsides is such a heartbreaker of a call to get.
Free kick coming. And Central will send it across midfield. Chelsea Washington tried to get a foot on the ball there, but ball will find Bowling Green back line eventually. Lena Kovar now to Audrey Shea. Tries to wait for something to develop. Nikita Jacob now with the ball. Passes forward, finds Nikki Cox. Has a little bit of space. Cox pressing towards the top of the box. She'll get it through. Looking for Sarah Allen. Allen puts it in the back of the net. Sarah Allen puts Bowling Green on the board.
Nikki Cox, nice little stutter step right there. Just nutmegs the Chippewa defensive player right there. Sarah Allen on perfect play right along the left side. Gets exactly where that ball needs to be. And just like the first time the Falcons played the Chippewas, Zoe Reed, the goalkeeper of the Chippewas, made some great plays throughout the day, but that defense eventually broke down. So overall, just great play there by Nikki Cox, one of the captains of this Bowling Green team, finding the lane and Sarah Allen to finish it off.
Indeed, a beautiful connecting pass by Nikki Cox, who's going to get the assist on that one. An incredible finish by Sarah Allen to put it in the back of the net, giving Bowling Green the 1-0 lead.
And, of course, the Falcons and now Eastern Michigan taking on Ball State have goals scored. No other team has goals scored so far in this quarterfinal.
Bowling Green will quickly go back on the attack as Kennedy White has the ball. She's going to look for Chelsea Washington inside. Washington's going to look forward to Nikki Cox again. Central's backline will try to send it away. Nikita Jacob gets ahead on the ball, and Central will try to develop something. Vizanko Going to pass to a teammate on the back line as they try to work the ball near side. Close call there. Sarah Allen was pressing in. Chelsea Washington now finds herself with the ball, and she's going to look to Kennedy White. White, very tall body on that Bowling Green front line. Nikita Jacob going to press it all the way back to Audrey Shea around midfield, who anchors that Bowling Green back line, especially with Maureen Kennedy out. Nikki Cox now with the ball, tries to make a move. She's going to go to Sarah Allen again. Sarah Allen's going to have another shot here coming on the outside. And everybody's tangled up in the box there. Ball still in place. Central tries to clear it out. Ortman's going to have a look. And it's going to be deflected away by Central. Good opportunity there for Bowling Green again.
And Ortman, she looked to pass right away instead of taking that aggressiveness. She had a good couple of feet around her. No Chippewa near her. Could have taken a shot. But Ortman stuttered a little too much, and it ended up just not going in the direction of the Falcons. The Falcons looking to push a little more. Zoe Reed back there to take the kick. Sends it. It's a line drive. That one's not the high arcing kick that we've seen that Zoe Reed kick so much today. Won by the Falcons, and Kennedy White pushing yet again.
White is indeed going to push it into the Bowling Green offensive zone. Trying to work something there to the outside. It's going to be out of bounds off of Central Michigan. So throw in coming here as Mackenzie Ruber trots forward. Ruber going to look for Nikki Cox, who's got some room. She's going to work the ball back to the center of the field.
A lot of pushing and shoving over there. And Cox is just not happy about that call. Ruled in favor of Central Michigan. A lot of pushing and shoving over there on Nikki Cox.
Indeed, like you said, a lot of bump and shove taking place right now here early in the stages of the second half. Central to send it away. Trying to get the ball across midfield. Bowling Green dominating early possession here in the second half. Nikki Cox finds herself once again with the ball. Tried to find Chelsea Washington forward, but cut off by a Central Michigan defender. Dieselhoff down near side. Good move. Tries to get it back to Nikki Cox in the center. Taken away by Central. Central on the offensive attack now as they try to have a little bit of room, but good defense there by Mackenzie Ortman to stop an early run. Nikita Jacob. Good defense to take the ball back in. Washington now has a lot of space. Looking, Sarah Allen is going to get another shot here again. Makes a move, tries to bend it back. Nikki Cox finds the back of the net. So this time, it's Allen to Cox. They reverse the roles, and now Bowling Green's on the board with two.
Chelsea Washington gets it over to the side. Great read there by Sarah Allen. I thought Sarah Allen was going to have a shot on the goal on the close side, and then ends up just on that little bit of a tip by the Chippewas. Finds Nikki Cox, and Nikki Cox is going to get on the board too. Zoe Reed and that defense of the Chippewas is starting to fall apart here in the early stages of the second half.
And we talked at the end of the first half how it was important to come out aggressive and stay on the attack. And that's one thing this Falcons team has done really well here. Less than 7 minutes into the second half, and they've put 2 goals on the board. Excellent job by Bowling Green.
We're going to get some substitutions in there. For Central Michigan, trotting in is going to be Kay Torrell, coming in for Cammie Taylor.
Now Central will try to get something going, but the Bowling Green defense yet again prevails. Lena Kovar has the ball in the back line. She's going to work it up to Nikita Jacob. Nikita Jacob has a lot of room on the far side if she wants to go for it, but instead she'll go up the middle. Nikki Cox finds Chelsea Washington. Allen on a run again. She's going to get another opportunity. Oh, tried to come back on the ball. She still has possession. Ball's in the box, and a foul is going to be called on Sarah Allen.
Sarah Allen had a third opportunity, and she ended up just tripping and did a little bit of a split and ended up just falling over. Piece of candy slam against the window here. And another BG substitution in just a moment here. During that last substitution, Brunzetti ended up checking in for Lauren DeBow.
Another foul going to be called quickly on Sarah Allen there. A little bit of an aggression foul by Sarah Allen.
Don't kick the ball back. Rude.
Belcito going to send it forward for Central Michigan off of the free kick. Taking her time, waiting for something to develop. Belcito sends it back. Rather than take the free kick, they're going to pass it along the back line, try to draw some Bowling Green players up closer to the back line. Belcito now will send it forward, but it will go into the awaiting legs of Kathleen Doovy.
And look at that communication between Kathleen Doovy and number 24 for the Falcons, Lena Kovar. Lena Kovar put her hands up, let the ball go straight back there to Kathleen Doovy. And now we start to see Central Michigan push on Doovy and not let her hold the ball for so long.
And in one of the other MAC tournament games right now, Ohio has just scored to take the lead over Western Michigan.
The number 6 seed over the number 3 seed right there, Ohio on Western Michigan.
Ball will go out of play. Bowling Green's going to have a throw in here as Deiselhoff stands near side.
Substitution for the Falcons. Kennedy White's going to trot on out. Coming in for her is Katy Cox, so both Katy and Nikki Cox will be back in this game together.
Deiselhoff looking for Nikki Cox immediately. Cox plays it back to Deiselhoff. Deiselhoff puts it inside. Ball still loose in the box. Goalie finally gets on it, and that was Zoe Reed who finally was able to hop on the ball.
The whistle's going to go ahead and get blown. Amanda Britton took a nasty fall there for the Chippewas. Looked to be on her hand or her lower leg, and it was she's able to trot off on her own power, but that clock is going to get stopped. She's going to stay in the game for the time being. Central Michigan's staff looked to start to trot on the field, but she's going to try to just walk it off with 35:27 left here in the second half.
Reed to send it away out across midfield. It's going to go all the way back to Lena Kovar, who's going to give it to Deiselhoff. As Kovar gives it to Doovy.
Again, no real pressure there on Doovy. We started to see Ava Brunzetti get over there on the push, but now it's kind of backed off.
Ortman now presses the ball forward to Chelsea Washington. Washington looking to the far side, trying to find Katy Cox. Mackenzie Ruber instead. Ball off a Central Michigan defender still, and foul is going to be called there on Ruber. So Central will take over. Central now has it. Their back line continues to work the ball around, trying to pass forward. Bowling Green still holding strong here in the second half. Kovar gets a foot on it. It's up, and it will go out of play. So Central will get a throw-in. Right?
And now the big thing for the Falcons is playing that solid defense that they've been playing so much this year, just not allowing a lot to get past them, and now they can just eat up clock with a 2-point lead.
Even with a 2-point lead here. Oh, and another thing we touched on earlier in the game was when we took a look at our pregame stats here as play continues. I'll let you go ahead and talk about that. But we were looking at the tournament scoring all time for the Falcons, and Nikki Cox with a goal and an assist. She's actually going to move up 3 points, and that's going to tie her for third all time for this Falcons team.
And that's pretty big. A lot of Falcons making history this year. Of course, Cox for this team. Isabel Marciniak, the setter for the Falcons volleyball team, moved the third all-time in assists. Great year for Falcons sports.
Central now with an opportunity. It's going to shot. It's going to go just wide right of the net. Doovy laid out, but she didn't need to there as it goes just wide.
And that's a good read by Kathleen Doovy. Another one of these seniors on this team just absolutely not touching that ball and letting it trot out of bounds. That's a veteran move.
Set to send it away. Ball will find its way to the foot of Chelsea Washington, trying to look for Sarah Allen, but Washington gets it back off a deflection. Moving the ball forward. Deflected away by Central. Bowling Green still with possession, though. Katy Cox on the outside. Ball will find its way out of bounds. Throw in coming here. Ali Vizenko will throw it in for the Chippewas.
And another thing to bring up with that, Chelsea Washington was pushing, and for the third time as Chelsea Washington pushes down the center, Sarah Allen is wide open on the left side of the field. They're just not paying Sarah Allen much mind.
Foul is going to be called there on Central Michigan, so I believe a free kick will be coming here as Lena Kovar trots forward for a Bowling Green free kick indeed. Another good opportunity coming here for the Falcons.
And this team going into the half, you and I talked about, Brandon, of the missing Maureen Kennedy out there today. And typically this is Maureen Kennedy taking this kick. And the Falcons have really turned and bounced back and used that aggressiveness in this second half and put 2 points on the board completely unanswered.
Kovar's going to send it in. It's a low shot, deflected out of the box by Central. Ruber tries to pepper it back in. Nikki Cox has room, but she's taken down, knocked on the ground again after the get up. Ball still tied up. Central will play it out. Mackenzie Ortman tries to win the race to the ball. The ball is still players all over right now, and a foul is going to be called on Bowling Green.
And the referees and the officials today, mainly head referee Michael Alley, is just really on the Falcons. A lot of calls going against this Falcons team, as almost nothing is being called against Central Michigan today.
Central's line will send it away. Belcito is just going to pass it back to Kaschalk. They try to move the ball forward, and it is going to be a throw-in for Central.
Yeah, okay, very nice.
Substitution will come here for Bowling Green shortly. Ortman trots down. Central tries to get it into the box, defended away by Audrey Shea.
Substitution for Bowling Green pending.
Central just trying to mount any offense they can get right now.
All the momentum went on that Bowling Green side as soon as that first goal threw the nutmeg over to Sarah Allen.
Katorl with the ball, passes to a teammate down. Maddie West back forward, looking for Katorl, and the ball will roll out.
And here comes that substitution trotting in for the Falcons. Number 11, Kristen Tveit, is going to get some more action today. Number 20, Mackenzie Ruber, is going to trot out. Ruber with that speed. They're going to elect to put Kristen Tveit in there as more of a defensive-heavy team.
Doovy to send it away. Another substitution will come shortly for Bowling Green. Doovy will send it forward. Good defense there by Central as they try to get possession. Ball will carry out. Throw in for Bowling Green.
And another substitution trotting in for the Falcons. Number 19, Sophia Barnes, is going to come in for Yasmin Dieselhoff, number 2. So they're going to elect for more of a defensive look.
Tveit still battle on the far side. No one really gaining possession. It's going to go out of play off Nikita Jacob, but a foul will be called on Central there. Ball will stay with Bowling Green.
And that's big. Bowling Green can really help control this pace. Getting under 29 minutes to play here, and both teams playing for their lives here as we've hit playoffs. There is no next week unless there's a win today. And with the win today, the Falcons will host next week as well, being the number 1 seed. There for the Falcons. Sent to the center of the field for Audrey Shea. Audrey Shea back up in the direction of Jacob, but intercepted by the Chippewas.
The Chippewas trying to send it to the back line to get something to develop, but just haven't been able to get anything going here really this whole game as we move with under 30 minutes to play here in the second half. Bowling Green to throw it in. Nikki Cox now with the ball again. We've seen her do some explosive things already in this game. Looked to go to Sarah Allen, but it's going to carry out off of Allen, so it's going to be a goal kick coming here for Zoe Reed.
And watch Zoe Reed here today. Zoe Reed has been playing pretty well today, other than, of course, the 2 shots on her. But you got to look, there's been 5 total shots, not counting shots on goal. And Zoe Reed has played really well. It's not to be bad at her, but maybe you see a little bit of aggressiveness and chippiness out of her as the Falcons try to battle back. As another whistle and another player down.
So we do have another player down. We'll take a stoppage in play.
That's number 13, Lauren DeBow. She's down on the ground as the Chippewa staff trots on over. and it looks like it's a leg injury perhaps. She's holding her right side. The clock is going to stop at 27:37. Both teams are going to trot over to the sideline as the Chippewa coaching staff looks at DeBow.
Again, our other games in the MAC right now, Eastern Michigan still leads Ball State 60 minutes into play, and then Ohio leads Western Michigan just about 60 minutes into play there as well. But at 65 minutes, Akron and Buffalo still tied at 0 over in that game. A lot of shots on goal in that game. Buffalo has 7, Akron with 3.
And no ties here in playoffs. It's a win or go home. There are no ties. Players or fans are not happy as DeBow is going to walk off the field. She's got her arm around the trainer, so we hope that she is okay as we await to see who's going to trot in her place as DeBow is likely done for the day.
So everybody coming back out onto the pitch now.
Game played with your feet, not your hands.
Coming in for Central, it looks like Samantha K. Torrell is going to trot back in. The junior from Murrieta, California, is going to trot in for the injured Lauren DeBow. And we mentioned, Brandon, all of the aggressiveness and pushing and shoving and the chippiness of this game. Fans are not happy with all of that pushing and shoving.
Soccer's a tough game, man. They're just out here playing as hard as they can until they have to, which is about 27 minutes and 36 seconds from now. So they're just out here giving it their all, trying to advance on to next week in a semifinal. Central here will get a free kick. Belcito to take it on the back line. She will send it all the way forward in an effort to get it into the box. Scooped up there by Kathleen Doovy.
That was a great dive there by Doovy, getting just in front of number 19, Cammie Taylor of the Chippewas, making a diving stop. It's big because the momentum of a potential goal right there is huge.
And speaking of goal scoring here, Sarah Allen takes it down to the other end, trying to work something around, makes a move, looking for Chelsea Washington. Washington going to try to get a shot on that, defended away by the Chippewas. Central tries to push it out. Mackenzie Ortman trying to keep it in. Central finally will get the ball out of play. And in some of our other games right now, Ball State has just tied Eastern Michigan 1-1, and Ohio has increased their lead to 2-0 against Western Michigan.
Right there, the defense for Central Michigan is doing everything they can to stop this ferocious Bowling Green assault. They're doing the best they can, but it looks like it's starting to wear on them as that defense looks a little tired.
Kovar trying to get it away. Caught a piece of Katoral. Kovar. Central trying to move the ball. They will find room on the far side. All the way back, and it will find the awaiting arms of Kathleen Doovy in the box.
Still a lot of chippiness between these two teams. In the winner-go-home scenario, you really expect that, whether that's baseball playoffs or football or basketball or whatever it may be. When your backs are up against the wall, you're doing everything you can just to stay alive in your season.
Central going to try to send the ball forward. A little bit of miscommunication there. Bowling Green, however, will send the ball back out. Nikita Jacob looking for Washington. Washington now moves the ball across midfield. A lot of room to work. Chelsea Washington all the way down to Nikki Cox. Cox has room. She's going to try to put one in, and just nice stop there by Zoe Reed.
Zoe Reed saw that play coming. Chelsea Washington found the right player, and Nikki Cox wide open on the left side. Zoe Reed, great job, though, of just swatting that ball away, or else we could be looking at a 3-0 deficit.
Nikki Cox again with the ball now here at the top of the box. It will play all the way down to the other end. Chelsea Washington's there. She's going to pass it back. Sophia Barnes. Barnes tries to find herself, create some room for herself. Looking to go, and there's a battle in the corner now. Players tangled up. And a foul will be called on Sophia Barnes.
And these calls have been all going up against the Falcons, although it's been a lot of the Chippewas initiating contact from our view up here in the press box.
Discussion to follow.
Barnes not happy with that call in any way. Cox is over there with her. She hasn't been very happy with the calls today. She's gotten called for a couple fouls herself.
Reed to send the ball back out. Barnes puts a head on it. To Veit. To Veit looking for Nikki Cox. Nikita Jacob has it. Looking for Washington. Good defense there by Britton. Central continues to try to find something.
Yeah, Morley!
They will have it now on this side. Offensive attack. Cammie Taylor as Central presses into their offensive zone. Taylor tries to cross it into another teammate. A lot of bodies in the box there, and that shot is going to go just wide right as well.
And there's that credit over to the defensive side of the ball. Now that all the adrenaline is pumping and you have that 2-score lead, you're playing more defense than you are offense. And the Falcons' defense that time just stops that Central Michigan push to try to score, and then Doovy just letting that ball go out of bounds. Zoe Reed that's Doovy sending it up to Chelsea Washington. To Veit sends it up in the direction of Cox. Nikki Cox to Katy Cox, and Katy Cox pushes up the side.
Good defense there by Central. The ball will go out of play, but it will stay with the Falcons. To Veit to throw in. Looking for Sarah Allen. Ball goes into the box. Allen still has a foot on it. Again, bodies beginning to crowd the box as everyone comes in. Central will send it down, and it will be kept in by Nikita Jacob. Audrey Shea is going to send it back forward to Veit now. He's going to go all the way back to Audrey Shea. Shea over to Kovar. Has Ortman in the middle. Chelsea Washington and Nikki Cox are there. Washington, Cox, nice pass to her. Sophia Barnes now. Shot is going to be high. 6 or 7 feet right over the middle of the net that time.
Would have been a field goal if field goals were a thing in soccer, but that ball just sails over the net into the student section. Great aggressiveness, though, by Sophia Barnes, and great passing between the captains, Nikki Cox and Chelsea Washington, just to set that up.
Beautiful pass there by Nikki Cox to set up Chelsea Washington to allow her to get that ball to Barnes. Reed will send it away. Played in there by Washington. Nikki Cox is going to be called for offsides.
You got to like the hustle out of Zoe Reed right there, knowing that it was going to be offsides, just sending it up and out of bounds.
So Central will have a free kick here. Again, that's going to be Belcito. Natalie Belcito sends it away. Audrey Shea will find it with plenty of room. To Veit. It's going to go out of play. Throw-in coming for Central Michigan now.
Central Michigan showing a little bit more aggressiveness on that offensive side of the ball as we head under 21 minutes here. You saw a lot from that Chippewa offense. It was more of a prevent during that first half, but now they're really trying to push that offense.
Central has it down in their end, which hasn't happened very often thus far. Ball will now go to Kathleen Doovy as we get a sub coming here.
Kennedy White. Kennedy White's going to trot in for the Falcons for Sarah Allen. And for the Chippewas, number 23, Amanda Britton's going to check out in favor of Ava Brunzetti. So Falcons making some defensive moves, and the Chippewas just trying to catch up on offense.
Nikki Cox, ball at midfield, another behind-the-back pass to Chelsea Washington, who finds Kennedy White. Long legs, good speed from Kennedy White as she's going to try to move the ball in the box. Finds Chelsea Washington. Washington puts a shot on net. Good save by Zoe Reed.
Chelsea Washington looking to find the side of the net. Zoe Reed as mentioned, great goalkeeper for this Chippewa team. Gets her left hand out just in time and prevents another goal. Some great play here from Zoe Reed in the past couple of minutes.
We will get a corner kick for Bowling Green, though, as Lena Kovar trots out to the corner.
This is the second corner kick for the Falcons today.
Kovar sends it into the middle, into the box. A lot of room, and it's going to go into the back once again.
That was a great little move there. Perfectly placed ball off the corner. It looked like it went to Cox right there. The goal's going to get scored to Mackenzie Ortman, as it might have bounced off of a central player and into the net. But regardless, 3-0 Falcons off of a great corner kick by the Falcons.
Mackenzie Ortman will find a goal for herself there as the Falcons now lead 3-0. And coming into the game right now for Nikki Cox is going to be number 23, Lindsay Spots.
As the Falcons pull away here, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of these starters start to get pulled. Chelsea Washington, of course, has not sat this entire half. It's only a matter of time before she goes and sits too. Back to Doovy. Doovy's going to send it up in the direction of Nikita Jacobs, but it's going to go out of bounds for a throw-in for the Chippewas. Number 25, Wargo, to take it.
Central will throw in now. Ball in their offensive zone here, as they really need to get something going here as time continues to wind down on their season. Audrey Shea trying to play it out, looking for Lindsay Spots. Ball will go out off of Central Michigan. Bowling Green throw in. Thrown into Nikita Jacob, who has a little bit of room. Going to look forward to Lindsay Spots, who's fresh legs, just checked into this ball game. Spots with room to work now. Ball will carry out of play, and it will go with Bowling Green. So another Bowling Green throw-in coming here as they moved the ball now to their offensive end of the field.
We're going to see another substitution right here as Nikita Jacob is going to check out in favor of Hannah Dolphus as Bowling Green starts to get some of their starters out and celebrate a little bit on that sideline.
Tveit into Lindsay Spots, who's quickly going to give it back to her. Tveit now looks for Spots on the outside, and she is going to be pushed to the ground there, but no call here as Zoe Reed is going to get a goal kick.
Little bit of news out here for Falcon Sports. Hockey's going to return back to, or it's going to go back into action on November 15th, which is a Friday, up in Anchorage, Alaska, as they'll take on a 2-game set against Alaska Anchorage, going on after the Falcons split a crucial series with Minnesota State over the weekend.
Reed sends it away as there's still a battle at center field. Throw in, Wargo.
Good job, Mark.
And now it will go the other way. Bowling Green throw in coming.
Bowling Green football will be back in action on November 13th on Wednesday at Oxford. They just took down Akron yesterday by a score of 35-6 on Senior Day as the Falcons look to keep their bowl chances alive.
Ball sent back forward, finds Kennedy White, uses the size to her advantage down there in the offensive zone. Katy Cox wrapped up with 2 Central defenders as Central takes possession. They move the ball across center field. Trying to work it there on the outside. That's Wargo. Good pass out by Bowling Green. That was Ortman. Kovar finds herself with the ball, moving towards the corner, and it is going to go out of play off Central Michigan. Goal kick coming for Kathleen Doovy. Good play there by Lena Kovar. Knowing where she was at and knowing where her defender was, allowing Doovy to get a goal kick. In our other games right now, Eastern still locked with Ball State 1-0. Ohio still up on Western 2-0. And Akron and Buffalo are still tied 0-0 in the 77th minute of play.
Another substitution for Bowling Green in just a moment here.
Thank you, sir.
Ortman looks to Dolphus. It's going to be out of her reach. Central Michigan tries to put it into their own end. Kovar is just going to dish it to Barnes as it finds her first. Ortman now. Going to give it to Barnes once again. Barnes all the way forward to spot. Still a lot of pushing going on. Bronzetti going to put one in there. Doovy camped underneath it that time.
Great job there by Doovy, making a nice little heads-up grab right there, just not allowing that ball to get in, keeping the shutout intact.
Doovy's going to send it out across midfield again. Katy Cox running it down, and it will be kept in by Cox as it continues to roll right near the line and finally goes out. Central Michigan going to get a throw in. Off the head of Lindsay spot. Bowling Green will have it at midfield as the ball continues to be passed around between both teams. Ortman now. Flush it out to Tveit. Tveit. Maybe wanted to come across all the way to Kennedy White that time. Didn't quite make it there. Bowling Green again with the ball at midfield as Chelsea Washington gives it back to Audrey Shea. Washington finds herself with the ball. Look to Dolphus. Ortman. Ball now controlled by the Chippewas.
Falcons looking just to keep the aggressiveness up. They've done a really great job today on offense, and that's led to even better defense. And now they're just trying to ice this game.
Spots gets ahead on it. Kennedy White trying to use those long legs to her advantage. She still has the ball down in the offensive zone. She's going to get a good chance here. Working it back to the right. She tries to press inside, but it's going to be taken away by Central Michigan. Bowling Green will try to keep it in, though. Now Chelsea Washington finds herself with the ball on the outside. Tveit now. Far sideline. Tries to make a move on her defender. She'll do just that. Working it back to the center of the field. Instead goes out to Washington. Washington looks to cross it in front of the net. Sent away by Central Michigan.
And you got to give some credit there to the Central Michigan defense. That ball was going to be in perfect position for a Falcon that looked to be number 23, Lindsay Spots. In
Chelsea
position.
Washington again looking for Katy Cox. And they're going to be wrapped up as that one goes just wide. Corner kick coming for Bowling Green.
And that's another big factor. No corner kicks for this team, the Central Michigan Chippewas. It's been 3 corner kicks for the Falcons today.
Another good opportunity coming here as Lena Kovar will get another shot at the corner kick. Kovar. Ortman. Spots. White! And it goes into the back.
And that's a header to another header to a wide open White on the side. Pretty much exactly how that one was drawn up from the beginning. The kick from the corner was sent just above the goal box, just where there's a white mark in the field, directly where it needed to be, over to Kennedy White. And President Rodney Rogers, who's in attendance, is nothing but excited down there.
Headers all around, and that's the second corner kick Bowling Green has converted on here today. Beautiful job on their set pieces thus far.
I'd have to agree with you, Brandon. Like, the Falcons have played really well, and those corners have just been absolutely devastating for the Falcons. Coming in during that dead ball, Chelsea Washington gets her first break of the game for Nikita Jacob. And another substitution incoming in just a moment for the Falcons.
And this is definitely the type of momentum you want to see the Falcons build here in the first round of this MAC tournament. White, ball on the outside, going to give it to Nikita Jacob. Jacob looks forward to Tveit. Tveit has Spots with her. Central will play it out. Throw in for Bowling Green coming.
After a split this weekend against Kent State, losing on Friday, and a win in 3 straight sets against Ohio on Saturday, Bowling Green Volleyball is back on the road this weekend. They will be taking on the Buffalo Bulls in Buffalo, New York on Friday, and then they take on the Akron Zips on Saturday, November 9th, as they continue to be dominant in MAC conference play.
Tveit. Look to go to Spots there. Maybe tangled up there with one of her teammates that time. Tveit now. Still has the ball. Barnes. Barnes towards the middle of the box. Center of the field. Heavy defense there by Central Michigan. Barnes trying to weave her way through. Bodies all over the place, and it is going to be a foul called on Barnes again.
And Barnes not happy yet again, but nothing but a smile on her face as she's just 11 minutes away from going a little farther in this MAC championship. Again, the Falcons are defending MAC regular season champions back-to-back, and last year winning the MAC conference playoffs, looking to repeat that as well.
Reed sends the ball all the way across. Nikita Jacob now with the ball for the Falcons. Kovar. Kennedy White going to be taken down there. Foul called on number 16 for the Chippewas. That's Maria Kaschok.
And men's soccer will be back in business on Tuesday. They take on Wright State at 7 o'clock as they look to rebound a little bit after a loss at Western Michigan, as the men's soccer team is trying to gain some footing for MAC tournament for men's soccer coming up in about a week.
Kovar will send it forward. Just long of Spots, just short of White. Central going to try to play it out. Lindsay Spots tries to keep it in. It's going to go out off of her there. Central will get a throw in. Substitutions coming for both teams.
Coming in for the Falcons, or checking out more so, is Kristen Tveit. She's going to be replaced by number 6, Zoe Hudson. And trotting in for the Chippewas, number 27, Devin Brow is going to check in. Number 3, Samantha K. Torrell is going to come in as well. Number 19, Cammie Taylor is going to trot out.
Throw in that time for Central. Out off Barnes. Central will get another throw in. More substitutions will come for Bowling Green shortly. Central throws it in again. Played out off the head, and they're going to call it off Central. It'll go with Bowling Green as Barnes will get a throw in.
Trotting in for the Falcons, Zoe Hudson. Number 16, Talia Brown's going to come in for Nikita Jacob, as most of these Falcon starters have been pulled from this game, with, I believe, the exception of Doovy.
Brown, the throw in. Finds Kennedy White.
Good job.
Foul is going to be called on Lindsay Spots.
A little bit of a trip right there by Lindsay Spots. You wonder if that's intentional or not, just to burn a couple of extra seconds off the clock.
Belcito going to get another free kick here. Central will bring another substitution in a moment. Belcito all the way to the other side of the field. Ruby Linton is there. Hudson going to try to play it back out. Central still with possession as they try to press in towards the box. Shot was there, but Doovy was there as well. Takes that one away. Keeps it out of the net.
Bowling Green and Central Michigan both looking to make a couple substitutions here in the waning minutes of this game.
And in the remaining minutes of another game, Buffalo has just gone up against Akron 1-0. White back to Brown. Ortman now. Ortman again with the ball. Tried to go across the field. Wasn't there. Ruby Linton and Barnes are there trying to defend against the Chippewas. The Chippewas are now on the attack. That's Coleman. Puts it over Kathleen Doovy's head, and that one will find the back of the net. And Central will put a goal on the board.
It's good to not get shut out if you're Central Michigan. You're looking just for a little bit of momentum with 7:19 left. Trotting in, Kennedy Thurlow is going to come in for the Chippewas for number 3, Samantha K. Torrell. And for the Falcons, number 25, Mackenzie Ortman is going to check out in favor of Lauren Milner.
So Central gets a goal on the board, 4-1. The Falcons do still lead. And in the remaining minutes, Akron has just scored as well, and they're tied with Buffalo now 1-1 after being tied at zeros for much of the game.
And that could be big as we also look at all MAC scores going on around right now in soccer.
Central still on the attack as Coleman tries to work it around. Audrey Shea looking to play it back out. Finds Kennedy White. Kennedy White finds Hannah Dolphus all the way forward to Lindsay Spots. Spots trying to stick with the ball, but Central will take over. They're going to play it back to their back line. That's Vizenko. Barnes now has the ball. Far sideline. She's going to be tripped up. Throw in for Bowling Green. Free kick for Bowling Green, rather.
Another substitution incoming for the Falcons.
Thank you, sir.
Played all the way into the top of the box. Brown with an opportunity there, but Central's going to play it out quickly. Linton gets ahead on it. But Bringard will press forward to a teammate. Riley Mann now has the ball on the outside, far side for the Chippewas. Looking to press it in. Played out by Audrey Shea. Linton now finds herself with the ball. A little bit of room. Tries to go outside. Nothing there. Vizenko. Back to Mann. Trying to work the outside. Sophia Barnes there on the defense. Both players tangled up. They will go down. Linton will trot over to the ball. Linton to Kovar.
Both players very slow to get up on that.
Central tries to keep possession. Good defense there by Lindsay Spots, and the ball will go out of play off of the Chippewas. Bowling Green will get a throw-in coming here.
Coming in for the Falcons, number 14, Tori Rydeski is going to trot in for Kennedy White. And I know it's not college sports, but I feel it's worth noting the Miami Dolphins, who are currently winless in the NFL season, are up 21-12 on the New York Jets right now at halftime.
Throw-in coming here. Sophia Barnes picks up the ball. Under 5 to play here at Cochrane Stadium. Bowling Green leads 4-1. Ball will carry down into the corner. Near the corner. Go out of play. Barnes to throw in again. Barnes looking for Dolphus. Back to Barnes. Trying to keep it in. And Central will keep it in, and it will go to the Chippewas.
Central Michigan to make a substitution here in just a moment.
Thank you.
As we just tick under 4 minutes left here at Cochrane Soccer Stadium.
Kovar puts a head on the ball. Central trying to keep it in their own end. Final 4 minutes of play. Central to pass in. Good defense there by Hudson. Hudson will send it out to midfield. It'll be picked up there by the Chippewas. Bowling Green with a really conservative approach right now as they have a big lead. Ball will carry out of play that time. Goal kick coming for Doovy.
Trotting in. Maggie Bassey is going to check in favor of number 17, Riley Mann. 3 minutes left to play here.
Doovy. We'll send the ball forward now. Foul going to be called again on Bowling Green. So a lot of fouls being called on Bowling Green today. Central going to get another free kick. Quickly, they'll play it forward. Coleman tried to put another one in there. She scored for the Chippewas earlier, a couple minutes ago. Throw-in coming again for Central. Ball will go out of play, but staying with Central as they'll throw it in quickly, trying to work it around. Ruby Linton to Audrey Shea. Ball will bounce and roll into Kathleen Doovy's awaiting arms with 2:20 to play.
Kathleen Doovy in no rush at all to get rid of that ball. Falcons look just to finish this one off and ice that clock.
Lindsay spots, puts a head on the ball as they race down the far side. Ball will go out of play, off of spots. Central will throw in. Ruby Linton on the receiving end of that throw in. Central now trying to get the ball across midfield. They know they still need 3 goals if they were to make it happen in 1 minute and 45 seconds. Barnes will trot over and throw in for the Falcons now. Barnes into spots. Taken down by 2 Central Michigan Chippewas. Audrey Shea gets a head on the ball. Dolphus is there. Good defense there by Hannah Dolphus. And Milner. Coleman will try to go back into the center. Kovar will play it out. Central just trying to get anything they can going. Kaschalk with the ball. She's going to send it forward. Tries to work it to the front line. She'll get it there, but the ball will go out of play.
And here in garbage time, it's really important for players who don't typically get to see time in the lineup get an opportunity to show their coaches what they've got. Matt Fannin over there knows he's got a talented offense and a talented team around him. It's just a matter of seeing what other players he has and matchups he likes as we tick under 45 seconds here in this game.
Hudson going to play the ball over to Brown. Brown is going to be called for a foul, and another foul goes against Bowling Green.
Chippewas want the clock to stop as that ate about 20 seconds under the clock. But the ball was still on the field. 20 seconds left. They're going to stop the clock now after about 20-something seconds runs off the clock. And Chippewa fans will not be happy about that one after this
Free
loss.
kick. Belcito tries to put it in, and it's going to be defended away there by Lindsay Spots. Under 10 to play. And that is going to seal the deal as Kovar's just going to play it back out conservatively. And Bowling Green is going to advance on to the semifinals, so we know now that the the semifinals and the finals will be hosted here at Cochrane Stadium.
And that could be big for this Falcons team as they await to see who they play with other games going on around the Mid-American Conference right now. The Falcons, with a great win here today, continue that hope to be back-to-back MAC Conference champions.
Also traveling to Cochrane Stadium next Friday will be Ohio as they knocked off Western Michigan. So Ohio will play the winner of Ball State and Eastern Michigan, and Bowling Green will play the winner of Buffalo and Akron, who are going into overtime tied at 1-1. And just breaking, in the last minute of the game, Eastern Michigan has scored to go up 2-1 on Ball State.
Ball State being the only team that these Falcons have lost to in the Mid-American Conference this year. Every other team the Falcons have done well to beating them 10-1, or being 10-1 in the MAC this year. That's got to be a huge score to watch if you're a Falcon fan.
And again, so much momentum to take away from this game here today as the Falcons win 4-1. And really, what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts is it's a day to celebrate for right now. Of course, the Falcons need to be able to get back on track right away. You have just a great game out of your leaders in Nikki Cox and Sarah Allen and Chelsea Washington. Most notably for me, Chelsea Washington with that little bit of a nutmeg move, getting Sarah Allen open on the far sideline. Then on that second goal, Sarah Allen repaying the favor, getting it back to Chelsea Washington for a goal. So overall, you have to really be happy with the passing that you got out of your team today. And, of course, this all coming without Maureen Kennedy, who you and I thought, Brandon, it was going to be big without her playing today, and the Falcons handled these Chippewas easily. The last time these two teams played, the Falcons and the Chippewas were right there, neck and neck for MAC winner, or to be in MAC regular season champions. And after that loss, the Chippewas fell apart, and now these Falcons are riding high, soaring high, talons up.
That they were in a great to see them come out in the second half, dominated play in the second half, leads them to the 4-1 victory. So positive to see, and we will await to see who they play, Akron or Buffalo, as they go to overtime. But right now, the Falcons win here at Cochrane Stadium today.
Couple final stats on the day for you, just real quick. There were 3 total corner kicks today. All 3 were kicked by the Falcons in the game today. 4 goals scored, 1 by Nikki Cox, 1 by Sarah Allen, 1 by Mackenzie Ortman, and 1 other goal that was not marked here on the sheet. Kennedy White was the 4th goal. And for the Chippewas, the lone goal was scored by Katy Coleman in that game. They had 3 shots, one of them being on goal where that was at for the Chippewas. And for myself and Brandon Lowe, I'm Zach Smith. The Falcons win today over the Central Michigan Chippewas to advance to semifinal play. Final score, Falcons 4, Chippewas 1 here at Cochrane Soccer Stadium. Thank you all very much, and roll along, BG Warriors.